Hi all, this is Skate, and today I'm going to be having a quick look at the new t34 Rudy, the tier 7 Russian premium tank. It dropped into the store literally about an hour ago, and I had to buy this tank immediately. Reason being, quite simply, is I am a huge fan of the t34, as are many, because it's a very famous tank. It's easily one of the most recognisable tanks, even if you're not a massive tank fan, purely because of so many were produced and it's so well known. Now obviously we've already got one in the tech tree, and we've already got Victory, but this one obviously is a tier higher, and well, in my opinion it looks better than the Victory. I like Victory an awful lot actually, but I just prefer the look of this one. It's more realistic. To be honest though, anything T34 related I get a bit excited about. As an example, I went on a tank driving day recently. While I was there, I was talking to the guy and he informed me that they actually have one just sitting there under a blanket waiting to be renovated. He asked me if I wanted to have a look, and I'm not going to say no to that opportunity, so off we went. He pulled back this blanket and this is what I saw. A very old, very rusty looking T34, yet it still looked epic. Now the reason I'm sharing this with you is because, well, the T34 is a cool tank, but just to show you that was all the reasoning I needed to buy this tank. I'm not biased to wargaming, I'm not biased to anything else except for I like T34-85s. So that was literally my motive for buying this tank. I didn't look at the stats, it was literally, shut up, take my money, I want this tank. Not everybody is like that about certain tanks though. So, in the interest of that, I thought I would do a quick comparative and just a quick gameplay for you so you can make your own mind up on whether or not you want to spend your money on getting this tank. Now we already have the T34 Victory at tier 6 as a premium tank in the game, so what are the differences? Is the T34 Victory stats and Rudy is on the right. First key difference is Victory is at tier 6, the same as the one in the tech tree, and Rudy is at tier 7. As a result, Rudy gets 1,100 hit points instead of 930. Except for that, the armor layout is nigh on identical, except for the very front of the hull. The front of the hull is given 75mm of armor instead of 45, which can actually make it quite bouncy. Difference that makes is it adds around a ton in weight to the actual overall tank. Now, maneuverability is the area where I saw a significant difference actually. Most particular in regards to the traverse speed. Now, the Victory is 48, as with the Rudy has 53. It's a very minor difference, only 5, but you genuinely really can feel that difference. That, coupled with an extra 80 brake horsepower on top of the Victory, makes Rudy feel a lot more nimble and a lot quicker. It gets to the top speed, which is exactly the same of 54, a bit quicker as well. It also makes it faster than the T43 in a straight line. The other very noticeable difference between the tanks is the rate of fire. As you can see, one has 7.67 and the other has a rate of fire of 11.32. That is a big difference, and that difference you really can feel significantly. Separate to that though, the armor penetration side of things, the Victory has 126, as with Rudy has 144. That's not staggeringly good, but it's not bad penetration either. You don't tend to find it's one of those tanks that you need nothing but APCR in. You can get away with using pretty much mostly AP, and when you get to a load of heavy tier 8s, that's when you need your APCR only, really. Now the aim speed on them both is exactly the same, 2.3, but the dispersion on the gun is significantly better, 0.36 on Rudy compared to 0.39 on Victory. So yes, as I said at the start of the video, because it's a T34-85, I am biased. However, that aside, and based on the gameplay of it alone, I think it's a lot better in its tier than the Victory is. Now the Victory is very good in its tier. That gives you a perspective of my opinion on this tank. So a quick bit of gameplay for you, just to show you what the tank is like. As you can probably already see from what's on the screen, it has a very good rate of fire, and obviously there's an example of the turret traverse. I have no idea why he has just gone belting up there when he knows I'm behind him, but it allows me to give you an example of the rate of fire on it. Obviously someone else has shot him, but you do get an example there. In The Cheery very kindly did exactly the same thing, so I thought I would take advantage of it quickly to just give you an example of the traverse on it. Now, Cheery is not the fastest of medium tanks, granted, but it is still a very fast tank. So if you can do this with a medium tank, you can certainly do it with a heavy tank. I think doing that in the T34, you would end up taking a shot or two. I still think you'd be able to do it in a T34 to a Cheery in all honesty, but you'd still get shot a few times. Now for some reason in this game, the Reds team all pretty much went for the bridge and left some go the other way. That left just the T25-2 from our team to go to the bridge by himself. As you can see from his comments above then, he wasn't too happy about that. But if you're going to stay by the cap by yourself, or well the cap, sorry, the spawn, I think you kind of brought it on yourself. Now this footage isn't the most exciting footage, I will admit, but it gives a nice example of how the tank plays. And I literally, like I said, only bought it not long ago, and I've had about 6 or 7 games in it. But you can see already from here that we're literally picking apart the little G2, and with our massive rate of fire, it's very quick and very easy to kill him. You will notice in comparison to the standard T34 and the Victory, the dispersion being that much better does actually make a difference. As a negative though, with the low penetration, that didn't go through. I think if you shot it with something else, the first one would have gone through. Obviously only one more tank left to go, and I do manage to ninja the kill because of the rate of fire. I don't think he would have been too happy with me nicking that kill though. Overall, as I said, not the most exciting gameplay, but it is a perfect example of how well this tank plays, and what its pros and cons are. One thing I haven't mentioned so far is its money-making potential. It is a premium tank after all. In this game I did 3,192 damage with 5 kills, and I made 66,000 silver. Now, in my opinion, the Victory actually makes a truck ton of money for its tier. And based on my games, and I haven't had too many games so far, but based on the games I have played, the Victory pretty much makes around the same amount of money as Rudy. So it does make money, but it's not an epic money earner. If you look at something, well, actually a good example would be Victory. It does make very good money for its tier. It's always been well known for making a lot of money. If you look at something like the SU-100Y, it doesn't make as much as the Victory would. Nonetheless though, it does still make money. Based on all of the stats, based on the tank, I would actually say it's a good tank and it's worth buying in all honesty. As premium tanks go, it's not the most expensive when you compare it to something like the Type 59 came out as. Now this is only a very short video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you in your decision if you are looking to buy this tank. And I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.